Hello everyone, my name is Fred. I'm the CTO and co-founder of Alpic, the MCP hosting company. Welcome to this second episode of Code with Fred. Code with Fred is a series of tutorials that I have the pleasure to host, dedicated on helping developers build ChatGPT and an MCP app using Skybridge. Skybridge is the open source framework that we are building at Alpic, dedicated on providing a full stack TypeScript experience, developing those new apps. There are a lot of features implemented in Skybridge, going from hot module reload to end-to-end type safety, and a bunch of cool APIs that we're going to take a closer look at today. If you want to start your first project using Skybridge, it's as simple as running this npm create command using our template that will basically bootstrap a ChatGPT and MCP app straight away. If you already have an existing project, feel free to only package Skybridge as an additional API to help you interact with ChatGPT and MCP app environment. The full documentation is available to get you started on all the various APIs that are available in Skybridge. Today's episode is going to be focused on one specific tool that we packaged inside Skybridge called useCallTool to help you interact from your widget with your server. In order to better demonstrate what we're going to do today, I'm going to show you the applications that I have developed specifically for this episode. This application is a small game application called Time's Up. So let's play a game of Time's Up. I've already pre-configured my ChatGPT account to be connected to the instance of Skybridge application that is running on my IDE on the left side of the screen. When I want to play a new game, I have the ability to play and put basically the ChatGPT app in picture-in-picture mode, where I have a card that I need to make ChatGPT guess, giving him some clue about the card that I have just in front of me. But as you can see at the moment, when we look at the code base of the widget, the card that is being displayed to the user is basically a static card. It will always be an apple. What I want to implement with you today is a way for you to fetch a new card from your MCP server, card that will be kept secret from the model so that you can try to make it guess. And every guess that the model will make will be as well a call made to the server being responsible to check that the displayed card is the one that the model guessed correctly. Otherwise, go fetch and try another guess. To do that, we're going to use the tool useCallTool that I mentioned just before. useCallTool is exported from Skybridge Web and takes as a first argument the name of the tool that is being exposed by your MCP server. It returns a bunch of stuff, one of which is the actual API to make the tool call, and some helpers, some boolean to help you get a better grasp of the current status of interaction between your widget and your server. So for example, we have the status itself that is being exposed by useCallTool, but we have, if we want, is pending, which is basically checking that the status is pending. Let's import our tool just now. And we can also help a little bit by giving a better type to the useCallTool API. The first argument would be the expected input for the tool. So the play tool does not require anything as an input, so it's an empty object. And the second type would be the content of the response from the MCP server. There are basically two fields, the structured content, which are going to be shared with the model that contains the ID of the card to guess, and a meta field that contains the word and illustration to be displayed to the user for the user to play. Once we have our tool call result, we can implement our actual call inside the play button so that it's not the card anymore that is being displayed, but a card that will be fetching to the server. Here is the button to draw another card that you can see just right there. For the moment, if I click on it, nothing happens. But if I say I want to play, which is going to basically fetch a new card, it's going to be able to interact with the server and do that. I'm going to put as well a disabled status on the button during the call that is being made from my widget to my MCP server. So now when I click on the button, draw another card, the button becomes disabled until there is a card that has been received from the MCP server. And as soon as I have a new card, it's being able to click again. But as you can see, the card itself didn't change. That's because the card is still a constant Apple there. So you can use data, which is part of the return statement of useCallTool. Data contains the response of the MCP server as soon as the response is available. So let's make our card actually be data.meta instead of this constant. So now when I draw another card, I will have a call going from my widget to my MCP server. And as soon as the call completes, the card data will be populated with the meta response from the MCP tool call. In that case, a whale that is being displayed in the card. This is one way to do things. There is another API available on useCallTool, which is CallTool async, which gives you the ability to directly interact with the result inside the callback. So for example, here on clicked, if you want to await CallTool in sync, which is basically the exact same thing as calling the tool synchronously, you can have data available, which is basically going to be the response. And you can say, I want the card response to be updated if it was a state, for example. But for our use case, the synchronous call that is being done on clicked is perfectly fine. Something that we might want to do, however, is change that with letting the model know that the new card is available. And there is another API that we can use to do just that, which is the useFollowupMessage, which basically allows the widget to send the message to the model without triggering a new inference. So in our case, we are going to want to trigger a new message being sent to the context when we receive a new card. So we can either go with the asynchronous statement of useCallTool. So if I keep using CallTool in sync, I can make the call, and inside the response, I can get my structure content and my meta, and send a follow-up message saying that new card has been drawn that includes a secret in it, and especially includes the So this is one way to do it, and I need to make this whole function async if I want to do that. Another way to do it is to still use the synchronous API. So it would be play in our case. And I can always put another argument after calling synchronously the execute statement from the useCallTool API, which are side effects, things that I want to do if the tool completes successfully with an error, or if it just settled whether it's successfully or not. I have access to the data that I want here, so I can still get structured content and send follow-up message there. So one or the other is sufficient to, once I draw a card, let the model know about the ID of the card that I've drawn, so that the model can make guess using this ID to the server, and the server check that the guess actually corresponds to the tool call. This API of useTool call is really very similar to the React Query API that some of you might be familiar with, and we got a lot of inspiration from this API. It's a way to better handle loading statement, results, errors, and everything that comes with data fetching capabilities as smoothly as possible. We'll welcome any feedback on this specific feature if you find it helpful or if it helps you build ChatGPT app. In the meantime, until next time, take care. Bye-bye.